Juan Soto's a Yankee. Now what?
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, it's Friday already. How did that happen?
Hey, how did that happen? Hey, guys, thanks for clicking on the show. You said, Stace, it's Friday, which, of course, means it's Fanmail Friday. We're going to get to a whole bunch of questions you guys have, from Oswald Peraza to Monument Park to the fallout from Ohtani and how does that play into Soto, everything that's coming up later on in the show. And just as an aside, Stacey, if you're watching this, Stacey is currently on vacation. So this episode was recorded on Tuesday, December 12th. If anything happened from Tuesday, December 12th on until the time you're watching this, we don't know as of now. So that's the nature of the offseason. We're finally trying to take some time off, just so everydayers know, by the way, as well. Stacey is off this week, so I'm on breaking news duty. And then the week after, you will see us sporadically together and sporadically apart. That's just going to be the case here for the month of December. We're all both doing some traveling, so just as a heads up. Okay, that crap out of the way. Stace, we wanted to start this conversation here about Juan Soto, or the post Juan Soto era, the post Juan Soto life now, of what's next. And I think that we have to start this conversation with what was lost. We knew what the Yankees needed going into the offseason, and Juan Soto was one.
Yeah.
Right? 1A. That was Juan Soto. Now, what's B? What's 2? So let's start, Stacey, with everything they gave up on the pitching front. I'll give it all the pitchers that they've lost so far. This is the trades. They've lost Michael King, Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, Drew Thorpe, Greg Weissert, Richard Fitz, and Nicholas Judice. That's everything they've given up in a trade so far this offseason. The free agent side of things, this is everything they've lost so far as well without signing any of these guys back. Albert Abreu, Lou Trevino, Matt Bowman, Domingo Germán, Ryan Weber, Wandy Peralta, Keenan Middleton, Luis Severino, Luke Weaver, Frankie Montas, Zach McAllister, and Jimmy Cordero. That is just what they've lost on the pitching front.
That's frightening.
A lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Stacey, what have we lost on the position player side?
So trades, Trey Sweeney, and they also traded Jake Bauers. Did we mention this in any shows? I can't remember if we mentioned the Bauers trade. And then free agency, IKF and Franchi Cordero. So
what do you notice when we say all those names, Stacey? What sticks out to you?
There's a ton of pitching missing.
There's a ton of pitching missing.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. I will say though, I think in the free agent slots there are two guys that the Yankees might bring back. You've talked about one, Wandy.
Yeah.
I feel like they might take a flyer on Montas, just to give him to give him a make good kind of a thing. And see what he can do. That would make
some sense. That would make some sense.
Yeah.
I don't think you're too far out of left field right there with that.
Yeah.
But like you said, Stace, a lot of pitching.
That's a lot of pitching. That is so much pitching.
That's, you have any idea how many innings that is?
Like when you look at it, because we've talked about how much pitching they've lost, and everyone knows. But when you're looking at this list of names, like I am in the rundown, you're thinking, oh wow, it's a lot.
It's a lot of names. So what do they have left to do? They got to fix that. Look, Juan Soto is all well and good, and we're super happy, and clearly he's going to help the lineup, yada, yada, yada. But you still got to pitch. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Because clearly, look, the dust is settled on Juan Soto, right? Where he's part of it now. And you can be kind of off of the high now, and you've been brought back down to earth a little bit. Now it's like, okay, back to business. It's back to business. This is not a complete ball club, and it's not even close. It's not a complete ball club. So, Stacey, this is the Yankees rotation if they started tomorrow. Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, Clark Schmidt, and then it's a battle for the 5 spot between Yoendrys Gomez, Matt Crook, and Clayton Beeter. That's it. That is the Yankees rotation right now. So very clearly, they need to do some work to this rotation. I think obviously they have more work to do to their rotation than they do to the bullpen. They still need to do a little bit on that bullpen side. I would like to see a little bit more there to give you some leniency and some leeway to work with. But they clearly need to add some starting pitching.
Definitely. That's I think that's even more frightening to look at than the list of the guys that they lost. Because honestly, you know, I know that when Michael Kay was on the show, he believes in Rodon. He thinks he's going to have a bounce back year. I'm kind of leaning that way too. I feel like he kind of has an every other year thing, and I feel like maybe he'll be okay in 2024 because I don't think it could get worse for him than it was in 2023. And yes, I just knocked on wood for the audio people. I'm worried more about Nestor, and we've talked about that. I'm worried more about Nestor's position and the problems he was having in 2023 because, you know, shoulder fatigue is a scary thing. And for him to have that when he's, you know, a guy that it's not like he's throwing a heater and like his heater is someone else's slowest pitch by a lot. And the shoulder thing kind of worries me with him. I hope he's okay in the offseason, but they definitely need at least 2 starting pitchers.
Yes, at least. Because, I mean, one injury. One.
Just one. And what? Yeah.
Then what? Then what? Like, you are already potentially calling Will Warren with one injury. And the Yankees at times had 3 last season.
Yeah, I was just going to say that they opened the season with 3/5 of the rotation hurt. So, and they know this.
If they had 3 injuries and hopefully one of them's not Cole, let's say it was like the guys that were injured last year. Let's just say even it was the 2 big ones. The rotation would be Cole, Schmidt, Yoendrys Gomez. It would probably Cole Schmidt, Matt Crook, Yoendrys Gomez, Clayton Beeter. That would be the Yankees rotation if Nestor and Carlos went down. So,
yeah, no, that's
what can they do? We're here to offer solutions. We're not just here to complain. We're here to offer solutions. Stacey, what are some of the free agents that are out there? Obviously, we got to throw it in because we'd be remiss if we didn't say Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Right. Yamamoto is there. You know, Jordan Montgomery's still there. I mean, as of the recording, again, we're recording this on December 12th. We don't know what's going to happen by Friday by the time this airs, but Jordan Montgomery is still there. There were reports that maybe Texas can't afford him because of something going on with their TV deal. Like they may have to kind of curb back on the spending. And maybe the Yankees can convince him to come back. Maybe they'll recruit CC Sabathia to be like, you got to come back, dude, because they're friends. And then I was thinking maybe Lucas Giolito.
Yeah. Look, I think Giolito had a very tough year personally.
Mm-hmm.
He was going through a divorce last year, which might explain some of the issues that he had on the mound and while he was traded and waived and then picked up and then dropped. And it was a really, really tough year for Lucas Giolito, and I wish him all the best. I hope he's doing better mentally. But yeah, I think there's still plenty of life in that arm. Like physically, there's still plenty there. I don't think that's plan A. I don't think the Yankees are going after Lucas Giolito and being like, oh yeah, I can fix him. You know, I don't think that's the
I feel like,
plan.
that would be like Yamamoto would be 1A.
Yes.
Lucas Giolito would be like C.
Yes. Yeah.
In that scenario.
I think they might, personally, I think you'd be smarter going after a guy like Michael Lorenzen. I really like Michael Lorenzen. There was a reason he was traded for last season. I think he has proved that he can be a starter, and you're looking for innings right now, and Michael Lorenzen's going to give you innings. I know he's been injured as well, so, you know, there's that caveat. But yeah, I think obviously Yamamoto is the clear big piece. The Yankees are pretty bullish and honestly pretty in dire need of getting at this point because you're kind of lacking in high-end free agent pitching targets right now. Yeah. Yes, I know Blake Snell is out there, but it doesn't feel like the Yankees are even remotely considering that. From everything we've seen / not seen, it doesn't really seem like the Yankees have any interest in Blake Snell. And maybe that's smart, given that they kind of gave a similar deal that it would kind of conjure like then Carlos Rodon just got.
Right.
So maybe, but yeah, I it's thin. And if they don't get Yamamoto, like it's tough. It's really tough. Like they'd have to shift gears pretty quickly.
Yeah. And like I said at the top, I feel like Montas could also be like a C or D option for them to kind of maybe allow him to try again. And hopefully the shoulders, I think as far as I know, they said the shoulder is completely healed. So, because I liked that move when they made it. I thought it was a really smart move when they made it at the time. And I feel like, he could be one of those guys who could surprise you where they slot him in as a 5 and then he could work his way up to a 3 if he does well. And,
Yeah.
I don't think they'd have to pay him that much either. And I feel like Giolito wouldn't cost a lot of money either.
Yeah, that would be a shorter deal, kind of like Montas would be. I think Montas is a 1 year, maybe a 1 with an option or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm right there with you, Stace. I think we said 2, but in reality, I think it's 3.
Yeah.
3 starting pitchers, and you're going to probably see 2 to 4 starting pitcher minor league signings. It's going to be a very veteran starting pitching staff in Scranton next season.
Yeah.
Because they just need to. They just got rid of all the guys that were supposed to be there. So let us know how you're feeling about this stuff. Who would you target past Yamamoto? Obviously, we know Yamamoto's the target, but who would you target after him? Because the Yankees need starting pitching. There's no way around it. We want to know in the comment section here on YouTube. Of course, it's Fan Mail Friday. We're going to answer our Locked On Yankees insiders first in just a moment. Check out the episode description for a link to a 14-day free trial to be a part of the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. You can get one-on-one text messages with Stacey or me. And of course, that's if neither of us are on vacation. But you can check that out in the episode description. You get a whole bunch of other perks, text messages directly to your phone with Yankees info and Yankees questions asked directly to us. So check it out in the episode description. All right. When we come back, we're getting to a whole bunch of your questions. That's next.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's an easy $150 if your team wins. If you've considered joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and you can combine prop bets on a game into a single game parlay for even more fun and more chances to win big. This coming Sunday, the Giants will be in New Orleans to face the Saints. The Giants are underdogs, while the Jets will be in Miami to face the Dolphins, also as underdogs. And by the way, the Yankees' 2024 World Series odds have changed since acquiring Juan Soto. Right now on FanDuel, they're plus 950, and they're only behind the Dodgers, Braves, Astros, and Rangers. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Back here on Locked On Yankees. Hey, for the everydayers out there, of course, we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. So if you're looking for something on Tuesday and Thursday, you can always check out the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming YouTube channel. Put it on in the background if you need something to play while you're getting your coffee ready in the morning. It's nice little filler time. So go check it out again, Locked On Sports Today on YouTube. And just as a PSA, also for everydayers, Stacey will not be on the show on Monday because, again, Stacey is going out of town. So you're going to get a solo Steve ep. Yikes, prepare your ears. But you're going to get a solo ep with me on Monday, so just be wary of that. And on the flip side, just looking a little bit further, you're going to get a solo Stacey ep on Wednesday because I'm going out of town. So schedule.
Yeah.
There's stuff. But we'll be back both together next Friday. Just as an aside. Okay. All right. With that out of the way, again, Stacey, we got to get to our fan mail questions. As always, our Locked On Yankees insiders get priority. Always guarantee answers to your questions. So let's go ahead and get to them now. This first one is coming from Locked On Yankees insider Ruben, asking us, how many times a week do you see Peraza playing? If every day, what about DJ? The big question. Thank you, Ruben. Peraza over DJ, DJ over Peraza. Stacey, the Yankees came out and said DJ's got an everyday third base role next season, which I thought was a little too premature.
I thought so too. I feel like they need to wait till spring training, perhaps, to see what's going on with everyone before they declare that. I I actually felt bad for Peraza in that moment because I thought, well, they're not even giving him a chance to try and do anything. So we'll see what happens because I think it's too early to even think about that right now. I mean, we have no idea.
Peraza's in a real tricky spot for 2024 in that he's waiting for someone to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now he has no spot.
Mm-hmm.
Given that news that Boone came out and said that DJ's the everyday third baseman, I think there needs to be a competition for that spot. I don't think it's DJ's outright. I know he played better at the end of last season. I don't think he played that well overall to warrant it's yours, no ifs, ands, or buts. I feel like Oswald's being the odd man out here. And I think what's really throwing a wrench into this system is the outfield situation now. It suddenly became log jammed with the trade for Verdugo and the Soto trade getting Trent Grisham back, because that pushes Oswaldo Cabrera out of the outfield now. Right. Without an injury in the outfield, Oswaldo Cabrera is not playing the outfield, which pushes him to the infield. So now it's Peraza versus Cabrera on the infield for a fifth spot.
Right. For like a utility role, really.
For the utility role. And of course, Stacey, that word's the magic word. Utility. Oswald's not utility. Oswaldo is.
Mm-hmm.
So Peraza's in a really tough spot now. I would like to see him play 3 times a week right now, but I don't know if he's going to, which means I don't know if he's going to be a big part of the club / make the club out of spring training right now, which also leads me a little bit further down the line going, they might flip him. I think this might be the time now because of how this falls further and further down. If there's no big injuries, if there's no injury at all, I mean, Peraza's your best asset. He's going to be rotting away in AAA if you keep doing this. He's got to play Major League Baseball at some point. If it's going to be with the Yankees, it's got to be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but it's also the Yankees, and there's always an injury, so there's a chance there. But
yeah, there is.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I said that as a goof, but I know what you're saying because he really needs to. He needs to start playing in the majors. It's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, like comparing Peraza and Cabrera, just like pros and cons, compare and contrast. Cabrera just offers you more.
Yeah, because he plays more positions. Yeah,
he can play way more positions, and he's a switch hitter. So like Peraza can really he can play the infield, and I think he can play it really, really damn well. I've said that 100 times on the show. I think Peraza's probably the best defender the Yankees have, weirdly enough. Yeah. And that includes Anthony Volpe. I think he's better than Anthony Volpe. I've said that 100 times. Defensively, I think he's better. I also like his swing better. I've said that 100 times too. But that's just not how the Yankees view it, right? They have favored Volpe. No ifs, ands, or buts. And we know that. Yeah. And that's just reality right now. So I don't know how the Yankees feel about Peraza right now. But that DJ news made it a little more clear. It sucks. I'm not going to mince words, dude. I think he deserves playing time in the major leagues. I think it's ridiculous that they've made him wait this long.
I agree.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Thank you, Ruben, for your question. This next one's coming from Betty. Do you think the deferred payment Ohtani deal is what we can now expect from Soto to Watt next year? Will it be the new norm for big stars in the future? Ooh, Stacey, we can do a whole episode on this. Why don't you go ahead and start with this news as the resident Angels fan on the show? Don't get me started. So go for it. You can go ahead and lead it.
When that news came out about the contract, I was just like flabbergasted by the deal that was made, because that is just, I feel like it feels squicky to me. Like it doesn't feel right. Something's off about it and I don't like it. And I was seeing a lot of different opinions online where people were like, well, there's nothing wrong with it. Any team can do it. And it's like, well, then why hasn't any team done something like this in the past? Like if every team can do it, then, the Yankees and Mets would be doing that left and right.
Well, there are the deferred thing exists, but
sure, but not
scale,
at that level.
It's this level of it.
Yeah.
It's again, cards on the table. Born and raised Angels fan. So like clearly I'm not happy right now. Mm-mm. Clearly I'm not happy right now. But this is icky.
It's icky.
I don't like it. I don't like the precedent this sets. And I really hope this is not the new norm.
Yeah.
This can't be the new norm. This is not okay. This is like, feels like tax evasion,
Yeah. It feels like they're trying to get away with something. Yeah. Yeah. It really,
And to be fair, Ohtani gets way more endorsements than Soto ever will.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like that's where Shohei makes the most of his money.
Yeah.
Is like everyone, obviously the price tag, and it blew my mind too, but like it's all his deals with New Balance and all that stuff like that. It's like how Steph Curry makes all his money too, and like LeBron makes all his money with Nike and like
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers and like all that stuff, right? So Shohei's kind of in that same vein.
Yeah, it's just that back end. A lot of jokes were being made because, most of the money is going to be from 2033 to 2043, or like the deferred part of it. And someone had tweeted, "Oh, I think it's cute that Shohei Ohtani thinks we're still going to have a society in
Yeah.
2043."
Member FDIC. Thank you, Betty, for your question. Appreciate it. One more here from our insiders today. This is coming from Jack, who doesn't check in very often. So, hey, Jack, good to hear from you. Who do you think is the next member of Monument Park? Could be definitely, or I would like to see it. Thanks so much for your great content. Thank you, Jack. Stacey, who's the next member of Monument Park?
Okay. If we're going definitely, I am thinking if his career continues the way it's going, it'll be Aaron Judge. I think there's going to be that much of a lag between eras in Monument Park. And I feel like 99 is going to be, I think that's going to be a retired number. What I would like to see, just for the chaos, A-Rod. I know it's never going to happen, but I think it would be the funniest thing ever.
Don't get me started. What I would like to see, and this is because of what it would mean for the trajectory of his career, Garrett Cole.
Yes.
That means he didn't opt out. Things went well. He won another Cy Young, and he probably wins a ring.
Yeah. That would be nice too, actually. I'm just thinking from the homegrown, lifelong Yankee perspective, it's probably going to be Judge, I would think. At this point.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of anyone else in the interim between all the guys that, dynasty dudes and
yeah.
Oh
yeah. I mean, he's a captain, man. Like it's you ain't stripping that title unless something A-Roddy happens.
Okay,
don't
put that
that's
in.
Not gonna happen. It's Judge. It's not gonna happen.
Let's not put that in the universe.
That's not gonna happen. Come on. All right. Thank you, Jack, for your question again, man. Good to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining in here today. All right, we have a couple more from our YouTubers, so stick around. That's next. Back here on Locked On Yankees, our final segment here on this Fanmail Friday. Stacey, let's just jump right to them. This one's coming from our YouTuber, Vincent M. Durham. What do y'all think the Yankees' plan B will be if they get outbid for Yoshinobu Yamamoto? Keep up the great work, Stacey and Steve. Thank you, Vincent, for always joining in on the Fanmail Friday. Of course, if you're new around here, you can always respond to the pinned comment on the YouTube side on Monday and Wednesday shows to join in on the Fanmail stuff. So, Vincent, what do you think the plan B is? Stacey, what do you think there's a plan B? I'm leaning that I straight up don't think the Yankees have a plan B.
I really don't think they have a plan B right now. I feel like they're all in on this and just expecting to sign him, like expecting to wow him and bring him in. I don't like that whole thing because I feel like I'm not a betting person. I feel like they're betting too much on this. And it worries me that I feel like they don't have a sufficient plan B at this point.
I don't know if there could be.
Right.
I think maybe okay, this didn't work out. Now we have to go the trade route. I'm sure they would like to not go the trade route. But if they did, it would be like, okay, let's go get Corbin Burns then. Something like that. But I think they're not. Obviously, they have a plan B. But I don't think they have a plan B that's on the same level.
Oh, yeah, no, nowhere near it.
There's nothing else out there that makes sense in the same way that Yamamoto does.
Right.
So they are, in all likelihood, extremely bullish on getting Yamamoto. It is imperative. It is part of the plan. It is, if they get Soto and they get Yamamoto, they can figure out the rest. That's the plan.
Right.
And they got the first part of it.
Right. They're probably thinking, all right, we got the first part. Now let's get the second part. I mean, it would be amazing if it did work out, because I'd feel a lot more confident about the rest of the offseason. But if they don't, I'm a little worried.
Yeah. Because it doesn't, again, I said it earlier, it doesn't feel like Snell is a fit.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't seem like it's in the plan.
Right.
And I don't want them, to be fair, like we did a whole episode on Snell. Go check it out if you didn't already. But like, I don't know if that's the best investment.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I like Blake Snell. I don't know if I like Blake Snell long term.
Right. Which is what he's looking for. So,
which is what he's going to look for. Yeah. But thank you, Vincent, for always checking in on Fanmail Fridays, man. We appreciate it. And this last one here today is coming from @Yankees Baseball Podcast. Hey, that's us. Asking us, I think this is the first time, by the way, so hello. Asking us, I propose a trade, and this isn't really a question, but my trade is you flip Verdugo and send Peraza to the Dodgers for a couple of pitchers. Here's the thing with that.
The Dodgers are as bad as us.
The Dodgers ain't got pitching right now, man. Yes, I know they got some like Ryan Pepio and stuff like that, but like it's not what the Yankees are looking for. You need to look at the tea leaves here. Everyone needs to look at the tea leaves here. They just sold the farm for Juan Soto. They just did it. Juan Soto's only good for 2024, man. That's it. So the Yankees, to their detriment, maybe are looking super short term right now. Obviously, they're planning for the future. They have to. Duh. But they traded a bit of the future, a good chunk of the future for right now. So trading for Ryan Pepio, I like Ryan Pepio, but trading for a guy like Ryan Pepio is not going to make the Yankees better in 2024. It's not. They need Yamamoto. They need to go out and add a Michael Lorenzen or trade for a Corbin Burns. They need a big move, another big move, because they clearly are all in on next season. So I don't think that type of deal is in the cards. And also it would be kind of funny though to see Verdugo back in Dodger blue, just back to where it all started.
Where it all started, right?
Yeah, man, Doogie was cool. I know that people have a lot of opinions on Verdugo. Doogie was a cool dude when I covered him in Rancho Cucamonga. He was one of like the funnest guys around. Like he was a clubhouse lifter, you know? So I hope he does that in New York. I know there's stuff, I know, but that would be funny though. I can't see that happening.
No, I don't see it.
I think if the Dodgers had it, they would do it.
Right, but they don't. They don't
have it.
No.
Yeah, because they would absolutely want Peraza.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He would be their shortstop next season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from that front, man, like your brain's in the right spot.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is there's not much to get back.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're also in on Yamamoto.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sheesh. What a world. I don't want to air my grievances here.
Well, it's almost Festivus. We're almost there.
That's true. Anyway, let us know how you're feeling about all this stuff here today, guys. Of course, the Juan Soto stuff, the pitching guys, the pitchers we laid out today, and our blunt honesty on Oswald Peraza and his playing time next season. Man, get off the pot. Get off the pot, man. I'm so done with this conversation on Oswald Peraza.
I know.
I'm just so done. Ugh. Anyway. All right. Don't forget, again, coming up on Monday, solo ep with me. You'll be hanging out with me. Dad's picking you up from school tomorrow, and you gotta eat pizza for dinner. Sorry, Dad doesn't cook. So, but Mom's picking you up on Wednesday. Okay. So you get to be back with Stacey on Wednesday, and then we'll be back together on Friday. So thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and that's going to do it for another week of Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. You'll see Steve on Monday.